Word problems and equations. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming to look at a word problem and try to figure out what to do. The good news is that if you take a step-by-step approach, translating and solving word problems can be a piece of cake. As you work with word problems and equations, it may be tempting to just solve these problems in your head and skip the equation part. Remember that these basic problems are meant to help you build the skills you will need later in math. Knowing how to write an equation, even for a problem you can solve mentally, is an important skill and should be practiced. Let's try an example to see how using the steps will help you translate a word problem into an equation. Penelope has a goal of collecting 48 stuffed animals. She already has 32 stuffed animals and hopes to add more on her birthday to reach her goal. How many stuffed animals does Penelope need to get? First, identify the unknown value. You want to find the number of stuffed animals that Penelope needs to get. You can use any letter as the variable, but try to choose one that doesn't look like a number, such as O, I, L, and S. For this example, use the variable p. Second, determine the operations needed for the equation. The words, to add, tell you to use addition. Third, find the remaining numerical information given in the problem. The problem tells you that Penelope wants 48 stuffed animals in all and has 32 right now. Fourth, check to see if any of the information is unnecessary. All the information is necessary. Finally, write an equation that connects the unknown value to the other information. Restate the problem as a simple sentence. 32 plus what number is 48? The equation is 32 plus p equals 48. Once you have an equation written from the word problem, you can use subtraction to undo addition and isolate the variable. To isolate p, subtract 32 from both sides. 32 plus p minus 32 is equal to 48 minus 32. Penelope needs 16 more stuffed animals to reach her goal. Pause the video and review all the steps for translating a word problem into an equation. Let's look at another example. This one shows that some word problems contain numerical information that is not needed for writing and solving the equation. Jackson bought a box of marbles that he wants to divide evenly among 6 bags. He puts 20 marbles in each bag. He paid $18 for all the marbles. How many total marbles did Jackson have in the box? First, identify the unknown value. You need to find the total number of marbles that Jackson had in the box at the beginning of the problem. This can be shown with the variable m. Second, determine the operations needed for the equation. The words divide evenly tell you to use division. Third, find the remaining numerical information given in the problem. The problem tells you that Jackson used 6 bags, that each bag held 20 marbles, and that all the marbles cost $18. Fourth, check to see if any of the information is unnecessary. You do not need to know the price of the marbles in order to find the total number of marbles in the box. Therefore, the number $18 is unnecessary. Finally, write an equation that connects the unknown value to the other information. Restate the problem as a simple sentence. What number of marbles divided by 6 is equal to 20? The equation is m divided by 6 is equal to 20. Once you have an equation written from the word problem, you can use multiplication to undo division and isolate the variable. To isolate m, multiply both sides by 6. 120 marbles divided evenly into 6 bags would give 20 marbles per bag, so Jackson has 120 marbles. Let's look at one final example. The Sandwich Shack served 70 sandwiches on Tuesday. Some of the sandwiches had turkey, and 29 of the sandwiches had roast beef. How many sandwiches had turkey? Do you remember the double number line diagrams you used when studying ratios? That same diagram can be used for equations. The top line is used to represent the information shown on one side of the equal sign, and the bottom line illustrates the information on the other side. In this example, the top line shows the total number of sandwiches, which is 70. The bottom line is divided into 2 sections, showing that the number of turkey sandwiches and the number of roast beef sandwiches go together to form an amount that is equal to 70. We don't know the number of turkey sandwiches sold, so this section is labeled with a variable. The other section is labeled with the number of roast beef sandwiches, which is 29. The diagram helps to show the relationship of equality between the two expressions. You can see that 70 is the same as the sum of the unknown variable, n, and 29. Once you have the equation, isolate the variable using subtraction to solve it. This equation's solution is n equals 41 because 41 plus 29 is equal to 70. The value 41 makes the equation true. As you solve word problems using equations, you're developing skills in thinking logically. For example, sometimes the clue words won't be as obvious as add or divide, but you can use logic to think about the action being done in a word problem. Ask yourself, which math operation is suggested by the action? If a person gives away something, that suggests subtraction. If a person gets more of something, that is addition. Keep practicing and don't give up. Being able to think logically will help you become a better problem solver in both math and life.